Yo, I am with Epic Worship. Y'all, night one is over. Yes, you, youth pastor, worship pastor, youth worker, youth volunteer, team leader. What else is out there, y'all? What do y'all think else is out there? I don't know. What? Scientist? Y'all, man, we had a good time. I'm sitting here with some awesome people. I don't want to name too many names because y'all all might know who they are, or you don't. It doesn't matter. We know Jesus. But tonight, I'm chilling with the Epic Worship team for Epic Student Ministries as well. I got the two awesome adult youth leaders. I'm going to mention them on purpose because you might be grown and you might serve a youth ministry and you want to know how it all comes together. I got my boy Rashawn Merritt, who is our worship leader as well, and our assistant worship leader Angelica Jenkins, and the Epic Worship team ministry, and our team leaders here, team worship leaders as well. Let's ask questions to the teenagers first. Let's address the teenagers. So y'all got the projected voice, of course. So we're gonna tell the social media world what made tonight so special to y'all.
Changing people's lives.
What?
Yeah.
Getting people real hype.
Yeah.
What else?
Seeing people act like they never acted from any Wednesday.
Wow.
That's
good.
Seeing people actually lift their hands.
That's real. Yeah. Wow. Simple things. What else, teens? You're telling us stuff that's blessing us.
Yes.
See this stuff.
Seeing people's love for God tonight.
See people love God. You know what? Adult team members, man, Rashawn and Angelica, sometimes our perspective is different than the teenagers' perspective, especially in youth ministry, because they're saying stuff, to be honest with you, not that we don't care less, I just didn't notice.
Yeah.
He probably saw mics, I saw mics, I wondered if batteries were right, I was trying to figure out what's going on with this administrator, what time are we on point or whatever. Sometimes being grown in youth ministry when we're serving, we're usually worried about the technicalities of things, and even though we should, but there's sometimes teenagers don't even see it, all they see is what God's doing. We gotta remind ourselves sometimes it's team ministry. But what does it take to do what y'all do as worship leaders? It's your chance to share to what your world's like working with teenagers and leading people in worship. So what does it take?
I would say it takes being open to these cool students' ideas. You gotta be open to the ideas because you gotta realize that you are getting older. And it's cool. God still gives you ideas. God still gives you concept. He still gives you the leadership to bring that happen. But these are the next generation. And so you got to listen to their ideas. You got to cultivate their ideas and help them grow those thoughts and those things. So you got to involve them fully. You got to involve the students. So I would definitely make sure you do that in your youth worship team.
Got a bone for me. That's good.
And I would say the love for teenagers. You have to have a love for teenagers. Oftentimes, Pastor Chandler always remind us to think about the why. There's times where I'm tired. There's times where I might have had a bad day, but I have to think about the why. Like, why am I doing this? And it's like Rashawn said, change lives at the end of the day. Always think about the why, and I think that will encourage you and that will keep you going, because you're gonna have seasons, you're gonna have times where you're like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I, serving? But once you think about the why, then it puts everything else in perspective.
It's real. Teenagers, why do you do what you do in youth ministry?
I love me some God.
Because we love the squad up.
We love to squad up. What else?
Love to turn up for God.
You want to turn up for God? That make it sound so easy, man.
They do.
Come on, what else? Make sure y'all speak up. What else y'all love? Why do y'all do what you do?
I like watching people's lives change.
Christian loves watching people's lives change. Listen, Matthew 18:20 in summary talks about when 2 or 3 gather, Jesus is right there with us. What we're all learning as youth workers is that when teenagers gather with us, despite all the technical difficulties, despite the schedule not being right, Jesus is right there. And when he's there, he gets to finish the show, the service any way he wants to. I mean, it catches us by surprise. Sometimes people come up to us, and know what happens to y'all. Hey man, that was a great sermon, that was a good job. I didn't feel like it up there. I felt like I was out of it. But they're like, yo, it really is what I need. I had a teenager just now tell me, like, who usually hears me but doesn't hear me at the same time. You know what I'm trying to say, youth pastors out there. He's like, yo, the word was so good. Now, hear me out. It's not a church teenager. It's someone who's going through something and they went through it today. I'm like, what? For real? And I'm pretty sure there's times I tell them, y'all did a good job. And they're like, looking at me like, Pastor, we don't feel like we did a good job. But I mean, the why factor is so important. Fueling your youth ministry is so essential that you have the right ingredients. You gotta have teenagers who are doing things with a different perspective to you. Like Rashawn said, you gotta be open to their perspective, because we are getting older. I'm 30 years old. I think us three, all three of us are 30 right now. Yeah, and surprisingly, we all grew up in youth ministry together at this church, Right Versus Church International. Look, we don't know when you're watching this, whether you're watching this tonight or later at a post, but look, it's so important that you reach out to help when help's available. You can email us at epic@rightdirection.info. We're ready to answer any questions. We got a team of people who are ready to answer. We want to get to know y'all more. You can see your teenagers out here. You can come out here with them. We'll introduce you to behind the scenes. If you're an adult youth worker, we'll love to be a help, right? I think
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Turn out.
Man, you know what? Y'all too, and say some words of encouragement to any youth worker out there right now who's like, just, I don't know, out of it, or a worship pastor, or anything. Just whatever you want to say from your heart. Just encourage some adult right now who's challenged right now.
I would say for the worship leader who feels like part of my story is I didn't know that I had what it takes. Like, I don't play any instruments or anything like that, so I didn't think I really had what it took. I necessarily didn't even want to sing for the beginning of this, but I love students and I love to worship God, and that's all I needed, and God grew me from there. So for the worship pastor who feels like he can't play 9 instruments, you don't know the G note, the E note, the C note, but God might give you great leadership skills in that worship team, and that worship team may need leadership. And what I've learned is that singers and musicians need leadership.
Wow.
Because your creative brain will take you somewhere that you don't want to be. It'll take you lonely and maybe put you on the island. And artists, musicians, singers, vocalists, anything, drummers, we need leadership. We need direction. We need guidance. And so for that worship leader who feel like you don't have all the capabilities to do all the vocal and the notes, God might give you something else. And so tap into that gift that God gave you and keep pushing forward, because those students need you. Those students really need you.
Your youth ministry. Yeah.
Well, I know for me, I went through a period of do I matter? Like, where do I fit in? And I think sometimes as a specialist, sometimes you feel like, am I doing something right, or am I helping? I think no matter what you do, whether you're assisting with the praise team, whether you're just counseling someone, or whether you're just that person that has to stand by the bathroom, your role is important. And I think that's what encouraged me, is no matter what I'm doing in youth ministry, as long as my heart is right, as long as I'm doing it unto God, and as long as I'm loving teenagers, my role matters.
Your role matters. Teenagers, let's say it on 3. Their role matters. 1, 2, 3.
Your role matters.
See, look, you heard it from the teenagers yourself. Youth pastor, youth director, worship leader, volunteer. We love you. Shout out to you from us. From long night. From us to you, we love you. Episode make some noise, right? He's loving teenagers.